Hi, guys. Exciting news for season 4. The Thrive Tribe newsletter is for everyone and it's free.
To sign up for our newsletter and to get more out of Chasing Brighter and engage with our amazing community, go to chasingbrighter.com/newsletter to get the latest updates.
And every month we have freebies, so check it out.
Welcome to the Chasing Brighter podcast, the podcast created as a guide to make midlife the best life.
Are you ready to embrace the next chapter of your life with confidence and excitement? Your best life is just a listen away. Happy Thanksgiving, friends, and welcome to Chasing Brighter. Whether you're listening while cooking, setting the table, or traveling home after a full and joyful day, we're so grateful to have you here with us. As we close out this month of gratitude, we want to pause and reflect. What has this season taught us?
Yeah, this episode is really about honoring our story, the wins, the lessons, the quiet in-between moments. Thanksgiving always reminds us that gratitude isn't just about one day of the year, but it's a practice, it's a perspective, and sometimes a gentle reset. So, Jess, I think it would be good even for us to kind of think through, this month and how it's been for us.
Yeah. So just also as a refresher, just kind of looking for season 4, we've added a reflection and journal prompt. And so I just want to kind of review what we've talked about this month. We started out by talking about finding gratitude in the mess. And so our reflections were kind of looking at what's something challenging in our life and what that might be teaching you. And then we moved on to our episode on how gratitude deepens connection. And our prompt was having us look at who in our life were we grateful for. And finally, we talked about letting go of guilt. And our journal prompts were about what can we let go of so we can make room for gratitude. So I think, for me, what I liked a lot was our November 6th episode, The Power of Perspective, finding gratitude in the mess. And I'm in the mess right now. And so I really liked that episode and I liked that prompt about really focusing on what's something in my life right now that feels challenging and focusing on what that might be teaching me.
Yeah, I feel the same way. In fact, for the month of November, so Halloween is one of my favorite holidays, and it's kind of a bummer because it goes by so fast. And so on November 1st, I did a gratitude jar. And it sat on our table. I think it was a fun tradition to start for November is to really practice gratitude, not only myself, but also sharing with my family and really help. I think taking a moment to express gratitude, I feel like so much for me is definitely giving me perspective.
Yeah.
And so I really loved even the Grace Over Guilt episode we did last week. I think it was last week. And really learning different ways to think about giving myself grace as well, Jess, and not have the guilt.
Yes. And I think I love the idea, I love a gratitude jar. We have one at our house. I think this is such a great time if you are gathering around and being with people during the holidays. Even with our gratitude and connection episode, you can have toasts on Thanksgiving and go around and have everybody toast and say what they're grateful for. You can do a thankful tree where they do that at my Pilates studio where we do rings and you say what you're grateful for, right? So that I love hearing that you guys are doing the gratitude jar. And this is such a great time to think about how can you start some gratitude practice. We're still in 2025. It's not over yet. And it's not too late to start a gratitude practice.
Yeah. And the one really fun thing about this Thanksgiving season, Jess, is that we're together. We'll be together. We'll be going to be with my family for Thanksgiving, which will be fun. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to travel and that the kids have the time off school that we can kind of get out of the city for a little bit.
I'm so excited. I'm going to be with you on Thanksgiving. I haven't been with you on Thanksgiving for years and years. And so I think that's going to be really fun. I'm going to be really grateful that our family will be together. And I think when we weave gratitude into this season, it's a beautiful way to to weave meaning and mindfulness into Thanksgiving and, just making it beyond the food and the chaos. And so maybe you're hearing this on your drive home tonight. The leftovers are packed, the house is quiet again, and it's a perfect time to think about gratitude. Gratitude doesn't end when the dishes are done. It's something that we can
Yeah.
keep alive in small ways every day. So, Kelly, let's share a reflection and journal prompt for today's episode.
Yeah. So when you look back on your year so far, it's crazy that kind of like 2025 is winding down. What are three moments, big or small, that you are deeply grateful for? And think about how they or what they reveal about who you've become in 2025.
Yeah. Yeah. As we wrap up this month's series on gratitude and grace, we just want to take a moment to truly honor how far you've come. This month has been about perspective, connection, compassion, and reflection, but really it's been about remembering that gratitude isn't something we wait to feel. It really is something we
Yeah.
choose to
Yes.
practice one moment at a time. And it is a practice, not perfection.
Yeah. You said it before, it's less about these grand gestures. It's more about quiet noticing, the cup of coffee that starts your day, one of my favorite moments of gratitude. Laughter that fills your home, especially coming out of this Thanksgiving holiday, or, the lessons that you've learned that come from things that didn't go as planned. When we start paying attention to these moments, life begins to feel a little softer. It softens the edges and even starts to feel a little more sacred.
And that's the beauty of honoring your journey. It's not about reaching a perfect destination. It's about learning to look back and say, even when it was hard, I grew. Even when I stumbled, I kept going. Even when I didn't know what was next, I still found gratitude in what was right in front of me. It's really interesting. I think we've talked about this before, but we hosted all the family events here in Las Vegas for a long
Yeah.
time. And then my
Yeah.
mom's sister moved back into town and then she wanted to host Thanksgiving a few years ago. And I kind of felt a weird way about it. It was really interesting. And then my husband was like, why do you care? Like, we just got to show up and leave and there's no stress. And
Yeah.
so I think it's that I'm in the shoulds and perfection sometimes, and I have to do
Mm,
everything this certain way. And it's like every year, I have to have this tradition. And last year I made the kids look at this and I have to do this and I have to do this. It's like, I don't even care anymore. Like, we're rolling into Thanksgiving. Like, listen, if I have to buy a turkey and make it, whatever, if I'm rolling up to someone else's house, whatever, like just trying to be in the flow of the journey, being in the flow of it and trying to just, I think being grateful helps us be in the moment. I'm grateful my aunt is here. She's alive. She's going to cook and do all the things and not jump into all of these shoulds. And that's what gratitude really helps me do.
yeah, I think that's great. A great point. The other thing is just kind of like walking away from today being Thanksgiving, and kind of replaying those highlights of
Yeah.
the day. And maybe your Thanksgiving isn't today. Maybe you had Friendsgiving, or maybe it's another time, but we're just upon the beginning of that holiday season. So just taking a moment to kind of replay those moments and think about the quiet gratitude that lingers after those celebrations end. And that's an important thing. We're in those moments, we're rushing around and we maybe forget about that. It's just kind of taking that moment. It doesn't have to be loud, but it's peace that can come after a long day of togetherness with family and friends.
Yeah. And if you choose to have a solo Thanksgiving, right? It's called Thanksgiving. So wherever this moment finds you, give yourself permission to slow down and really see your life. Not through the lens of what's missing, but really look through the lens of what's meaningful. Maybe you can start a small gratitude ritual. Write down one thing you're thankful for before bed. Light a candle and say it aloud at dinner, or tell someone why they matter to you, because these simple moments are how we build a grateful life. One breath, one memory, one connection at a time.
Yeah. And if you have been following all our episodes this month and you've been doing the journal prompts, take a moment and look back at what you wrote. I am amazed, Jess, at, when you're in the moment of journaling and you're like, it's kind of like stream of consciousness for me.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm amazed at is when I look back at what I put in my journal prompts,
Mm-hmm.
It's just neat to kind of see those themes, see what's weighing on my mind,
Yeah.
and really think about some of the moments where it's like, I don't feel that way anymore,
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
knowing that that's part of my growth. It's honoring what my journey looks like
Yeah.
to see, through eyes with compassion.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the time of year, I'm still using the Legend Planner. So this is the time of year where I have my 2026 Legend Planner already.
That's
And
exciting.
so that's where, this is a planner that really has you look at your whole year. So it is such a great opportunity to really reflect on the year. What were my values? What do I want to
Hmm.
continue? What do I want to try to shift and change? And we look at this we say this not to overwhelm you, right? But this can be an opportunity. We can always just take a moment to check in with ourselves. And so let's do that. Let's take a moment together. Let's take one last grounding breath together. Inhale through your nose all that's beautiful about this season, the love, the laughter, the lessons. Let's exhale through our mouth anything we don't need to carry anymore. The guilt, the pressure, the comparison. You made it here, and that's something to be grateful for.
And don't forget to visit chasingbrighter.com for your gratitude download that we have by signing up for our newsletter. It is a small tool that can really make a big difference. A daily reminder that, there's always something that's going on, but, there are things that are worth noticing and worth honoring.
We are so grateful for this community, for
Yes.
you showing up each week,
Yeah.
listening, reflecting, and doing the inner work to make this season of your life the best one yet.
Gratitude is in the heart of every transformation. And when we honor what we've been, we create space for where we're going.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for being part of our journey and for letting us be part of yours.
Yeah. Until next time, take care of your heart. Hold on to grace and remember you are living a story worth being grateful for.
Happy Thanksgiving. Travel
Happy
safe.
Thanksgiving.
Rest deeply. And as always, keep chasing what makes you feel brighter.
Thanks for listening today.
If you loved today's episode, share with a friend.
Are you ready to chase brighter days ahead? Subscribe to Chasing Brighter now, and let's embark on this exciting journey together.